Okay, let's go.
Let me ask you something. Have you ever walked out of a client meeting thinking, that went great, only to never hear from them again? No response, no feedback, just gone. And you sit there thinking, was it the price? Was it the timing? Was it the competition? I'll tell you exactly what it was. You talked too much. You tried to sell the job before you actually understood the client. And here's the shift that changes everything. The best builders don't win because they have the best pitch. They win because they ask the best questions. Today, I'm going to break down exactly how to sell using the rocket sales system and how to use listening as your biggest advantage in closing high quality construction clients. Context/story setup. Welcome to the Versa Method podcast. And my name is Felipe Freig. I'm a luxury custom home builder and a construction coach. I help builders and trades stop running themselves into the ground and actually build real businesses. Businesses that generate real profit. Businesses that run without you being on site every day. Businesses that give you your time back, your freedom back, and actually let you enjoy what you built. Because right now, most guys in this industry are stuck. They've built something that looks successful on the outside, but behind the scenes, they're the estimator, the project manager, the problem solver, the firefighter. And the reason they stay stuck there is because they don't know how to sell properly. They either undersell, overtalk, or attract the wrong clients. And I've been there. Early on, I thought selling meant having all the answers. I'd go into meetings ready to impress, talking through every detail, every option, every idea. And I thought the more I talked, the more value I showed. But the opposite was happening. Clients weren't buying because I wasn't listening. And once I learned this system, everything changed. Core framework. The rocket sales system is built on something most builders completely overlook. Structure, not scripts to sound robotic, but a structure that forces you to listen. Because when you follow this properly, you naturally talk less and understand more. Let's walk through it. First, rapport. And I don't mean fake small talk. I mean actually slowing down and treating the client like a human being. Asking where they're from, what kind of work they do, how long they've been in their home, what they do outside of work. And here's the important part. You let them answer. You don't rush it. You don't cut them off. You react naturally. Most builders skip this or rush it because they're eager to get into the job. But this is where the tone is set. If the client feels like just another job to you, you've already lost. Now, the reframe, this is one of the most powerful parts of the entire system. Before you even start selling, you remove pressure. You tell them, hey, I'm going to ask you some questions so I can understand your project better and see if I can help. If I can't, I will guide you in the right direction. Is that okay? What does that do? It relaxes the client. It removes resistance. And now they're more open because they don't feel like they're being sold. They feel like they're being understood. Third, the discovery. This is where most builders fail because this is where you're supposed to listen. And instead, they start talking. The rocket sales system goes deep here. You're not just asking surface level questions. You're uncovering pain. You're understanding their current situation. You're finding out what's not working. You're asking what it's costing them, not just financially, but emotionally. Time, stress, family impact. And here's the key. You let them talk. You don't jump in with solutions. You don't interrupt. You don't try to fix it yet. You just keep digging. Tell me more about that. What's that been like for you? How long has that been going on? And then you go deeper. What have they tried before? Why hasn't it worked? What happens if nothing changes? Now you're getting real information, not surface level, real. Because people don't buy based on logic, they buy based on emotion and justify with logic after. And this is exactly how you uncover that emotion. Fourth, desire. This is where you shift from problem to outcome. What does the ideal situation look like? What would it feel like if the business ran without them? What would they do with their time? Why does that matter? And again, you're listening because now you're hearing what they actually want. Freedom, time, less stress, more control, better clients. That's what you're going to sell back to them later. Not just the build, not just the service, but the outcome. Fifth, cost and consequence. This is where you help them realize the cost of staying the same. What happens if nothing changes in 12 months? Most guys avoid this conversation, but this is where urgency is created because now the client sees doing nothing has a cost. And once that clicks, they're far more open to change. Sixth, trust. You ask what matters to them when choosing someone. What's important in a builder? What would make them feel confident? Now they're telling you exactly how to close them. And most builders miss this completely. They guess what matters instead of asking. Now here's where everything comes together. The pre-pitch. This is where you finally talk. But notice something. You're not guessing. You're not pitching randomly. You're repeating back exactly what they told you. Say, what I'm hearing is. And then you lay it out clearly. You show them you understand their situation. You show them the gap. You show them why they're stuck. And you connect it all. This part of the system is powerful because the client feels heard, not sold. And when that happens, they start agreeing with you before you've even presented anything. That's when the sale is basically done. The real talk section, let's be honest, most builders don't do this because it feels slower and they're impatient. They want to get to the quote. They want to get to the numbers. They want to close. But rushing is exactly what kills the deal because when you skip understanding, you become a commodity and commodities compete on price. If the client doesn't feel understood, they will shop you. They will compare you and you will lose to someone cheaper every time. Another hard truth, if you're talking more than 20% of the time, you're not in control of the sale. You're just hoping they like you, hoping they choose you. That's not a strategy. That's gambling. And if you want a real business, you can't rely on luck. You have to have a process. Practical application. Here's what I want you to do. On your next client call, don't try to be impressive. Try to be curious. Go in with one goal. Understand the client better than anyone else. Use simple questions. Walk me through what's going on right now. What's been frustrating you the most? What would you want this to look like if it was done right? And then shut up. Let them talk. If there's silence, don't fill it. That's where the good stuff comes out. Take notes, repeat things back, clarify, and only after you fully understand, you speak. And when you do, tie everything back to what they told you. That's how you sell without feeling like you're selling. That's how you reduce price objections. That's how you become the obvious choice. Now, if you remember one thing from today, it's this. You don't close deals by talking more. You close deals by understanding better. The rocket sales system works because it forces you to listen, to slow down, to actually care about what the client is trying to achieve. And when you do that, you stop chasing clients and clients start choosing you.
Okay, let's go.
Now listen up. If you're serious about building a business that actually runs without you, better systems, better clients, better margins, head over to www.versamethod.com. If you want to be part of our coaching group, I'd be happy to see if you're a fit. And if you're not, you'll still walk away with something valuable that moves your business forward. Thanks for listening. We'll see you in the next episode.